Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bachuba Online TV. I'm here to share my thoughts to you, my fellow Africans. And here I have African food. You can enjoy it. Yeah. I'm enjoying my African food here. I have also this sweet orange, and also I have a ginger here. This is like I'm using this in tea. Also, it's used as a treatment for our body. I'm trying to be indigenous because I want to show you, fellow Africans, that we have lost our culture, we have lost our dignity, so we have to restore it. In order to restore it, first of all, we have to go back to our basement. You know, here I have a pumpkin. Those who are far from Africa, I know you cannot get this one. This is a natural one. So what I want to encourage you is to come back in Africa. We have a good place here in Africa where you can invest. You can invest your money, and you can provide employment or produce employment to your fellow young Africans, instead of young Africans running away from our mother continent to seek a job and employment in America and Europe. We have lost young people. Many young people are drowned into Mediterranean when they are trying to cross the sea to find job or employment, even better life in America or Europe. So, fellow Africans, that's why I'm trying to show you natural things that are found here. If you we continue in this period of lockdown, I will show good things. I will try to encourage you, especially those who are in the diaspora, to find or to see the opportunities that are here in Africa. So, fellow Africans, my point today is how Africa will realize. You know, the time for Africa to realize is now, and Africa will realize if we, as Africans, we put our apps together, and we will build a strong empire that we build a strong empire that will be greater than that of the past or that of the previous, like Songhai Empire, Mali Empire, Ghana Empire, and the Songhai Empire. So, in order all this to be happened, we must join the force. We must come together, we as Africans, and join our force. For instance, those who are in diaspora, if you decide maybe to contribute $1,000, there's more than 50 million people in the diaspora. So if you contribute only $1,000, it means we're going to create a lot of money. So we as Africans, we can build our own schools, we can build our own hospitals, we can build our things that can be beneficial for fellow Africans. So let us let us discuss one of the speech of Professor Pillow Lumumba of Kenya. And mostly I like to listen his speech. His speech is encouraging us. Also, I like to listen Dr. Kana Chomboy. Also, I like to listen President John Paul Magufuli, because his speech is encouraging us as Africa. They make us proud to be Africans. Forget what's happening in China there. We have been humiliated, but we are humiliated because we are weak in it. We feel inferior when we see the white one. So the time to be superior is now. We must encourage ourselves and seize opportunities, instead of waiting Japanese or Chinese or Americans and the Europeans to come here in Africa and invest. Then they employ us, and they keep their regularities, how they can treat us. We have seen some Africans have been caning by Chinese in Kenya there. But all in all, what I want to share to you is how we can make Africa the great empire. In the 50 years time, we have to build a modern day empire that will make the world, as stated in the Agenda 2063. In this new empire, when you take a walk across Africa, you will see confronted with another Africa. I'm talking after Africa united, after Africa, especially young people, our young men and women realize that Africa is the best place of the world, and Africa is the heaven. If you are talking about the heaven, you are talking about Africa. So you will be confronted with united Africa, an Africa which is prosperous, an Africa based on inclusive growth and sustainable development. You will be confronted with an integrated continent, politically united, based on the idea of Pan-Africanism and the vision of Africa's renaissance. Fellow Africans, when you walk across Africa, you will be confronted with an Africa of good governance, democracy, respect of human rights, justice, and the rule of law. Africa will be at peace. It will be so secure that we will no longer import arsenals and military equipment to kill fellow Africans. There will be no need of bulletproof, because Africa, we are realizing that we are one. Also, if you walk across Africa, fellow diaspora and the Africans, at that time when we realize that and if we decide to make Africa great, you will be confronted with an Africa whose young men and women have interest and love for their continent. Let me give you one example. If one friend of mine is talking with his fellow in the village, when he was asking about what do you think to be in Africa or to be in Europe. He said that even though I prefer to be a dog in Europe instead of being African in Africa. So as you see, so all of this is because of our mind has been conquered. So we must change this behavior and love our continent. And the way to love our continent is to make sure that we realize our potentials. We see opportunities that are found here in Africa, and those who have got the chance to go to school must encourage other people to love their continent, to invest their knowledge here in Africa, so that the young one will love their continent. Those who are coming will enjoy the presence and the hard work that has been done by the previous generation. As we now enjoy the political independence that has been fought by the Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere, Kwame Nkrumah, Patrice Emery Lumumba of Congo, we enjoy this political independence because there are some previous generation that has fought for us. So it's the time for we as Africans now to fight for next generation. So as you see, fellow Africans, and they have discussed here, really big. If you move around Africa, also you will be confronted with an Africa whose young men and women have interest in love for the continent, and Africa whose young men and women have regained their prowess in increasing new things, farming, cattle, raising, and technology. You will have perfect the art of innovation. An Africa whose young men and women are preoccupied by building the continent. An Africa whose young men and women have innovated a better version of Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp. An Africa whose technology is used in America, Germany, Japan, China, and all over the world. That is what Africa we want to be. Also, we will be confronted with Africa. We will have more than universities in each part of Africa. Universities that will produce engineers that will make our road. Instead, as you see now, our road has been made by Chinese and the other Western people. You will be confronted with an Africa whose IT graduates have invented new phones, fastest internet in the world, and robots, will be confronted with an Africa which has faith on his doctors. The Arab and the Europeans and the Americans will be coming to seek top treatment from our Princess Marina Hospital, Life Gaborone Private Hospital, Kenyatta Hospital in Kenya, the Muhimbili of Tanzania, the Kisani Baragonath of South Africa, and the Mama Yemos of Kinshasa, Zaire, or the Democratic Republic of Congo. These are the doctors who will have perfected the hearts of traditional medicine when the woman and traditional medicine men and the women, and combined with the modern treatment. You will be confronted with young men and women who have no dreams to stay in America or Germany or England, China, Japan, France, or outside of the continent. All of them will be here in Africa. Young men and women who are no longer humiliated at the embassy of European countries in the United States as they seek the almighty green card. As you see, in the previous 3 days or 4 days, I think almost a week ago, Africans have been humiliated in China when they have been taken out of their hotels. They have been convicted that they spread the coronavirus. So all these will be eliminated, and all Africans will be in the good place. Also, fellow Africans, you will be confronted with young men and women who innovate the modern machines that are harvesting. You will be confronted with modern day machines that are harvesting limitless water from River Congo, River Ruvuma, River Zambezi, River Nile, River Niger, and so on, and use it to irrigate the farm. DRC Congo and the area of East Africa will be a food and mineral reserve for African industries. Africa will be exporting finished machinery to Europe, America, and all over the world. You will be confronted with an Africa where young men and women from Niger, Nigeria, Senegal, Mali, Mauritania no longer drown into the Mediterranean as they seek to be enslaved in Europe. You will be confronted with an Africa whose young men and women have regained their self-pride, an Africa where Africans are proud of their things, an Africa where young men and women feel proud of eating food of African origin. That's what I was showing you, this food. Instead of eating Western food, we have our own food here. This is a pumpkin, and I will show you banana. We have cassava, we have rice, we have maize here in Africa. So we must eat our own original food. Also, we'll be confronted in Africa where when our young women and men want to enjoy themselves, they sing the praise of football team from Africa. They will be confronted with young men and women who enjoy their theater, drama, and music. That is Africa, what we want. We will be confronted with an Africa with a strong culture and identity, common heritage, value, and ethics. An Africa whose development is people-driven, an Africa relying on the potential of African people, especially our women and young people, an Africa that cares for her children. Remember Nelson Mandela's wish for South Africa to be a living reality, the country which cherishes the idea of democracy, the idea of democratic and free society. All persons in South Africa, regardless of their color, will be living together in harmony and with equal opportunities for all. You will be confronted with South Sudan, where the Nuer and the Dinka are living in harmony. They will be mining and exporting the vast natural resources in their land. Eritrea will have settled. Central African Republic will be living in peace. Botswana, Tanzania, Kenya, massive savanna and grassland will be the hub of modern dairy breed by Africans. Those region of Africa, East Africa, Botswana and South Africa will be a leading exporter of meat and milk. Young men and women from Botswana, Tanzania's colleges, or South Africa's College of Agriculture will have invented breeds of cattle that are disease resistant and highly productive. You will be confronted with an Africa which is even for wildlife and largest attraction of tourism. The number of elephants will have doubled because no one will be poaching on them. You will be confronted with an Africa, or with a strong Africa, an influential global player and partner. And because of the achievement and the narrative of African will change. We will be confronted with Africa where we speak our own language. Maybe Swahili. At that time we have our own language, African language. We speak Swahili. So that is what Africa we want. Whatever the setback or of the moment we are, nothing can stop us now. So we must move forward and make sure that Africa is moving forward. So fellow Africans, that is what I want to share to you today, and I enjoy to share my thoughts to you, because there's no time other than now. The time is now to take the action and to show you what we are supposed to do. So fellow Africans, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. My name is Geoffrey Moses. I'm from Tanzania. Thank you.